a little bit of a surprise because Hollidaysburg has a lot of people back this year, and they were expecting a lot of good things out of this team. And that's not to say they're not still going to occur before this thing is over with, but I don't think they expected to be 1-2 at this point. They dropped that heartbreaker to Du Bois in overtime, triple overtime in the first week of the season. Then they did beat Erie Central in week 2 at home pretty handedly right here on the Blair County Sports Network, and then went up and had it handed to them pretty good in Erie last week by McDowell in a game in which McDowell just controlled all aspects of that football game. And Central, on the other hand, they came in this year knowing that they were going to have to battle some inexperience, and it might take a while to gel as a team. And Central got off to a defeat here, or on the road with Huntington, 19-6, and then they went down to Central York and dropped a 2-point 14-12 decision there before they came back home in their home opener last week and got the 5-point 19-14 victory over Indian Valley. So both teams 1-2, and both teams looking to right things and maybe get on a roll starting here this evening, and one of those ball clubs will do that. Doug, we talked about some of the different things real briefly as we got underway here tonight. Both teams were going to have to do in order to win tonight. And a couple of things I was looking at was Central's defense. We talked about that on the way over tonight. They've been pretty stingy so far this year, and one of the things that Coach Kreider has talked about is the fact that they have stressed defense the last 2 or 3 years, and it showed in the teams they've had. And again, this year, even with a young team, their defense is playing well.
They've really been able to stop the run quite well, and I think that's what they really want to do tonight. They're smaller along the line than Hollidaysburg is, so we'll have to see. I think we'll really see early what's going to happen for the rest of this game. I mean, if Central can come out early, stop Hollidaysburg, I think because they're a young team, that will really give them a big boost. And who knows, we could have a heck of a game here tonight.
Central has held their opponents to 25.6 yards rushing a game. That is really incredible. That's a great stat. And Hollidaysburg, of course, we all know Coach Price likes to run the football, and so it'll be interesting to see how Central does stand up.
It will be interesting to see.
And one of the things you said, Doug, and is very true, is the fact that Central's giving away some size, and that's another one of the keys that I have noted here. And if you look across the front lines on Hollidaysburg's offensive front, they average 232 pounds across that offensive line. And Central in the front four defensively average about 192. That's giving 40 pounds away to the offensive line, and that's going to be tough for Central to handle, and we'll have to see how they do tonight.
That is going to be tough, but we've heard, Phil, that Central likes to blitz a lot, so, I mean, that's a way you can compensate against a bigger team. Blitzing, Central blitzes a lot. When you blitz, you gamble. We'll have to see if they win on those gambles or if they lose, because you can lose big on a blitz.
One thing we talked about, too, tonight, as you see Central coming onto the football field here this evening. But one thing we talked about a little earlier, getting off camera, was the fact that Central likes to go, Doug, you mentioned, with 6 people up front on defense. So maybe they're looking to counter the Hollidaysburg big guys up front by putting more guys than maybe they can handle there, and hopefully there'll be somebody free to get towards the ball carrier.
Yeah, when you put 6 men on the line, you're almost playing, you're essentially playing a goal line defense in the middle of the field, and your main emphasis is to stop the run. Let's see if they can do it.
Tonight's game on the Blair County Sports Network brought to you, as always, by the WRTA Sportsmen. And they include tonight ARC Federal Credit Union, 1919 7th Avenue, serving Catholics in Blair and Huntington counties. The Altoona area Votech, a tech prep institution. Be Votech proud. Call 941-TECH today. And Buy Low Foods in the Orchard Plaza. The choice is yours. Buy low or pay more. The captain's out at midfield right now as you get a look at some of the players on the Hollidaysburg sidelines there. One Dave Pfeifenberger, who had a pretty big game a couple weeks ago on the Blair County Sports Network. He had a 10-yard touchdown reception from Joe Montrell, and he also had a 68-yard reception that he carried the ball on a pass over the middle from Montrell down to the 1-yard line that led to a Hollidaysburg score. So Pfeifenberger hoping to have another night like that here this evening. Again, we'll wait to get a look at the captains, the toss, and Central has won the toss and declined. They will defer to Hollidaysburg, who will get the football here to start things off. So we'll be ready to roll in a minute. We'll take a look at the Hollidaysburg offense. Of course, they have the three-year starter Joe Montrella, now a senior at the quarterback position, and everybody in the area knows all about Mr. Montrella. He can throw the football and throw it well. Behind Montrella tonight will be Matt Pleva, and quite possibly we expect to see Lucas Cooper back in there pretty regularly tonight also. Cooper had been injured. He played a little bit last week in McDowell, and they're looking to see more from Cooper tonight because Mulliver was hurt against Erie Central 2 weeks ago, and he has a broken bone in his foot, and he's definitely out at least for a couple more weeks even after this evening. Up front for the Golden Tigers, it'll be John Kreuzberger to tackle, Ron Schlecht to tackle. It'll be Eric Togart and Jeremy Ritchie the guards, and Wayne Campbell the center. And the tight end will be Matt Stoltz. Split end Mark Barnes. And also, again, they like to throw in Al Brano should be back tonight. And if Al Brano is indeed ready to go, you may see him in a tackle position also. So we'll wait and see exactly how Hollidaysburg does line up. For Central, their defense, Kreider, Bowers, Himes, and Dixon up front. Benfer, Mingle, and Fry, the backers. Kit, Chismar, Lehman, and Harris, the defensive backfield. Hollidaysburg ready to receive. It'll be Wayne Goshorn and Matt Pleva back to handle the kickoff from the Scarlet Dragons.
Nate Thompson preparing the kickoff for the Dragons. Set for the return for the Tigers. Number 28, Wayne Goshorn.
Nate Thompson will handle the kicking duties for Central here this evening. So we are just about ready to get away, and what is a pretty chilly evening here, Doug, at the stadium.
It's football weather.
Last year we had a wonderful fall. It was just beautiful, clear into November, and this year started out like that, but the chill's back here tonight. The kick is off, and it'll be Pleva taking the ball at about his 15. Pleva up the middle. He has room and is finally hauled down out at about the 38-yard line. That's where the Golden Tigers will put it in play, 1st and 10 right there.
First down for the Golden Tigers.
Again, Joe Montrella, the senior, will lead the Tiger offense out onto the field, and right there you get a look at number 67, Matt Trainham. He is back in the lineup, and he'll be in at left tackle tonight. Mark Klinger split wide to the left. Barnes wide right. Montrella looking to throw right away. A quick two-step drop and fires out for Klinger, but the ball is short, and that'll be incomplete, and that'll bring up a 2nd down and 10 for Hollidaysburg. So Hollidaysburg, right out of the gun, Doug, looking to throw the football, possibly use the pass to set up the run tonight.
They very well could be.
With Central going with that 6-man front, Coach Price may feel that's a way to loosen the boys up a little bit.
Yeah, that's a good way to attack a 6-man front, try to throw quick passes.
Montrella with the delayed give to Pleva. Pleva over the middle, and he'll pick up about 4 or 5 on the carry. And please bear with us tonight on our calls because we don't have hash marks. It's a little tough picking up the actual yardage, and that 4 or 5 is in reality 2. So it'll be 3rd down and 8 for Hollidaysburg with 11:18 to go in the opening quarter, the first drive of the ball game. WRTA sportsmen tonight include Broad Avenue Pharmacy, 2329 Broad Avenue, a full-service pharmacy serving Altoona and the surrounding communities, and Park Furniture in Juniata and Tyrone for saving service and quality. 3rd and 8, Montrella over center. The give right up the middle and nowhere, as the give is to Lucas Cooper, and Cooper is stacked up immediately. He may have gotten a yard or so on the carry.
When you put 6 men on the line like that, it's really tough to run against a defense that its main emphasis is to stop the run.
And Central does that. 2 out of the first 3 Hollidaysburg plays are runs, and they stuff them. Only 2 yards net there for Hollidaysburg, and they will have to punt. And Joe Montrella is back to punt for Hollidaysburg. Gets the kick off. This one is headed over towards Ryan Blakely, but he'll let that ball bounce, and Hollidaysburg will down it in and near and actually on the Central 35-yard line where the Scarlet Dragons will put the ball in play. 1st and 10.
On the 35-yard line.
30-yard punt off the foot of Joe Montrella. Montrella this year is punting for an average of about 26.5 yards per kick. Here comes the Scarlet Dragons offense behind their senior quarterback also, Benji Berger. Kitt in the backfield. Berger looking to throw on first down. Has a man. It's Kreider on the far side. Kreider driven out of bounds by Pfeifenberger, and he'll be near a Central first down. So Central also answers Hollidaysburg's first drive, and they come out right away passing the football, and Berger's first completion is good to Kreider, Josh Kreider.
It was a nice little play fake by Berger there, and that helped, because the linebackers have to stay in when they see the play fake.
Going to get another look at that play, Doug. Still seeing live action
And
right now, and I think we'll stay here as Benji Berger's up over the football and ready to go. 2nd down and 1. Mingle slips in the backfield. Berger is able to make the handoff, but he'll lose a yard on the play. So we had a lot of rain out here this afternoon, and right there is proof of that, as Josh Mingle lost some footing and was unable to get the momentum headed towards the line of scrimmage. And that'll bring up 3rd down and 1, short yardage situation for the Scarlet Dragons.
I'm interested to see tonight, Phil, if Central can try to keep their turnovers to a minimum. That's been a big problem for them this year. They're turning the ball over too much. Those mistakes, as you can say, have killed them.
And everybody's moving on that play. That was shades of the Canadian Football League right there, Doug, as Central's going to have to back up another 5. Some motion on about 8 of the offensive players right there.
There were a lot of people moving on that play.
The turnover ratio for Central this year, they're a -2. And, of course, that you look at good teams, and when you look at their records and they've a lot of wins, usually you see a big plus in that turnover ratio category. And actually, Hollidaysburg coming in at 1 and 2 is a +5 in turnover, so maybe that tests that theory a little bit. We'll have to see how it plays out tonight. 3rd and 6 for Central. 8 minutes and 50 seconds to go in the opening quarter. Central's first drive. Berger looking to throw, and he has his man, as again, that's Kreider over the middle of the field, and that will be good for a Central first down. Josh Kreider, the senior tight end, makes the catch from his quarterback, Benji Berger. And we'll get another look at the first down completion.
Again, another play fake. That holds the linebackers because they have to protect against the run.
Holds them for a split second, gives the tight end enough time to break into the seam over the middle, and Berger's able to complete the pass. First down and 10. Ball resting at the 48-yard line of Central. There's a give up the middle, and that will go for very little yardage on the play, as we'll wait and see the pile on. That'll bring up 2nd and 9.
Pick up a 1, 2nd and 9.
So Central going away from the pass there with the run right off tackle, picking up a yard on the plays. The Hollidaysburg defense is right there to stop. Berger over center. Set to go with a 2nd and 9. Looking to throw. Looking on the near side. Trying to find his man, Matt Lehman. But the throw was a little to the outside, and Matt was unable to right himself and make the catch. So that'll go incomplete and bring up 3rd and long. 3rd and 9 from the 49-yard line of Central. Josh Kreider heading out of the ball game. Central substituting. The wideouts. 2 to the near side. And now Joe Kitt splits to the left. He'll go in motion. And again, a wide receiver in motion. That'll come back. Berger's rolling out, looking downfield. He tucks it in. He's going to run with the football. Golden Tigers are right there. Loose ball on the field. And Hollidaysburg has the football.
Rolled down just outside the 45-yard line.
Or was he down out of bounds? They're ruling that he was down on contact, so there was no fumble on the play. But we'll go back and take a look now at the flag, Doug, and I think that was a motion call against Central as Chris Moses, the split end, headed downfield about the split second too soon. And that was a 3rd down play. And Hollidaysburg will turn the penalty down. That will bring up 4th down and about 5 yards. And Central will bring in the punting team. Josh Kreider normally handles the punting duties for Central. Back deep for the Golden Tigers is number 24, Jeremy Chork. Chork will watch this ball sail out of bounds, and Hollidaysburg will take possession, 1st and 10. Out near the 25-yard line. Again, it's a little tough to pick up the spots here this evening. So Hollidaysburg with their second possession of the first quarter. 7 minutes and 8 seconds to go. There's no score from Memorial Field in Roaring Spring. Montrello the quarterback. It's Pleva and Cooper in the backfield. Klinger and Goshorn split wide to the right. The give is to Cooper. He's looking for room outside. He has it. Now heading for the yardage marker. Stop made by Justin Harris as he comes up and takes the legs out from under Cooper, but Cooper is near, and I believe he does have the first down on the far side.
There's some nice blocks, Phil, on the right side of the Hollidaysburg offensive line on that play.
So that'll bring up a 1st and 10 for Hollidaysburg. 6:45 to go in the first quarter. No score. This second time that the Golden Tigers have had the football here this evening. It was 3 and out in their first possession. Montrella again, the give. And there is no room right there for Matt Pleva as he is stacked up right at the line of scrimmage, and he may have lost a yard on that play. Tonight's game on the Blair County Sports Network, brought to you by the WRTA Sportsmen. They include LaCrone Transfer, your local Beacons agent. Make your next move count. And yes, he really is Rick Lytle of LaCrone Transfer. Or Lumber on 7th Avenue between 4th and 5th Street, your complete building supply store for over a century. And Dr. Altman Chauffeur and Dr. Rotroff, podiatrist, providing complete foot and ankle care for children and adults. 2nd down and 11. Montrello looking to throw. Pump fake. Now he puts it up. Klinger wide open. He has it, and now he's headed down the sidelines. And Klinger, who made the catch over his shoulder, and when he hauled the ball in, didn't have a lot of room there, Doug. And as he turned, he caught the out-of-bounds line. But it is a 1st down for Hollidaysburg in Central Territory.
Let's watch Montrello put it right in Klinger's hands. Perfect pass. He just couldn't stay. He just couldn't stay in bounds.
It's actually tough, you know, as I've already alluded to a couple times tonight, to pick up the yard markers, and actually it might even be a little tough for the players out there this evening. Montrello with the give to Cooper off the right side. Cooper bowling his way for about 5 yards on the play. Lucas looked to be stopped right at the point of attack, but he was able to roll off the tackle and use his strength to pick up.
And he kept those legs turning. I mean, that's what a running back has to do. That's good fundamental football.
Cooper actually does get 4 yards on the 1st down carry. That'll bring up 2nd down and 6. No score. First period from Roaring Spring. Hollidaysburg with a 27-6 edge in this series with Central. There's another give off the left side. That time it's Matt Pleva, or make that Cooper again. And Cooper fortunate to pick up maybe a yard on the play, and that'll bring up another 3rd down situation for Hollidaysburg. This one will be 3rd and 5. Ball resting at the 37-yard line of Central.
Phil, I'd really like to see Hollidaysburg try a little play action here. I mean, a team here like Central, whose main emphasis is to stop the run, I mean, that's all they're geared up for. I think a play action pass might work big here.
See how Coach Price calls it. Cooper getting some carries tonight after being hobbled by the injury the past couple of weeks. And as you see right there on your screen, Central a little anxious to make the big play on defense, and a couple guys jumped well into the Hollidaysburg backfield. And if the call is as it appears, that'll be 5 for Hollidaysburg.
Like I was saying earlier, Phil, Central likes to blitz, and that's what they're doing right here, but he just didn't time it right. That looks like that was Tom Schaefer going out of bounds. I mean, going off sides on that play.
And it is against the Scarlet Dragons, but it's not quite enough for the first down. Hollidaysburg about a half a yard short, so that'll bring up third and very short yardage for the new set of downs. 4:11 to go in the first quarter. Tiger coaches will send in a new play to quarterback Joe Montrella. You have Goshorn and Klinger split to the near side. Klinger now in motion. Pleva and Cooper the backs. It'll be Cooper. Off the left side, breaks through the line, and he's gone. Cooper heading towards the end zone. Goshorn holds the block on the outside. Cooper's in the end zone for the touchdown, but a flag was thrown at the feet of Wayne Goshorn, and I think they're going to get him for a hold, but I'm not too sure about that call, Doug. I was watching that as it unfolded, and Goshorn was just sealing the defensive back, and Cooper went around him. We're going to get a chance to look at it and see if indeed Goshorn was caught with his hands in the cookie jar. I don't know.
Good blocking there by Matt Trainham on the left tackle.
Now there's the block. I don't know.
I don't know if that was a holding or not. That's a close call.
I mean, he's on top of the defender, but the defender's already down as he's trying to get back to the ball carrier, and I don't know that Goshorn could have done anything there but raised his hands and said, go ahead on by me. But any way you look at it, it is a penalty against Hollidaysburg. Now, they'll still hold the first down because the penalty is marked off from the point of the infraction. And they will get a 1st and 10 on the carry by Cooper. There's a 13-yard run for Lucas Cooper after the penalty. 3:49, 1st and 10. It's Cooper again. Same play. Cooper again breaks to the outside, but this time a couple Scarlet Dragons hang on to the jersey and haul him down. Tom Schaefer in on the stop for Central. 3-yard pickup for Cooper. That'll bring up 2nd and 7. Lucas had rushed the ball 14 times for 41 yards coming into tonight's action. 3-yard per carry average. And he's getting the majority of the work here in the opening quarter. Second and 7 as Montrella barks some last-second commands to his wideouts Klinger and Goshorn. Klinger in motion to the far side, and now we're going to get a flag, and no doubt too much time on the Golden Tigers as they took a while to get that play set. Never did seem to be comfortable. And that will back them up 5 yards, and that'll bring up 2nd down and 12 now for Hollidaysburg. Little confusion on behalf of the Tiger offense right there, Doug.
Took a little bit too long to get that play off.
2nd and 12, just under 3 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Hollidaysburg driving for what would be the first score of the ball game. Klinger again in motion. And this time it's Central a little testy up on the line of scrimmage, and the nose guard, Matt Horton, jumps across the line. So Hollidaysburg's going to get the 5 yards right back, and we're back to 2nd and 7 again.
Looked like Matt was a little too anxious on that play.
Tonight's game brought to you by the WRTA Sportsmen, and as always, they include Custom Car Wash on Pleasant Valley Boulevard for full-service brushless car washing and a detailing service, a Skills Group enterprise. And Palomino's Pizza in the Italian Village Lounge, serving up the best taste around for nearly 4 decades. 2nd and 7, Montrella over center. Klinger in motion. Long count. There's the give to Pleva off the right side of the line. And he might pick up 2 or 3. 2 would be rather gracious on that carry. And that it will be a gain of about 2. And it's 3rd down and 4 for the Golden Tigers. Golden Tigers have scored 10 points on the season in the first quarter. while Central has not, well, actually, they've only given up 1 touchdown through the first 3 games in the opening period. Here's Cooper on a pitch to the near side. Cooper still driving forward, down inside the 15-yard line. But I think he's going to be a little shy of the first down. That'll bring up a 4th down, and now we'll have to see how Coach Price decides to play this one. And it looks like he's going to send a field goal team in. And, of course, Joe Montrella will remain out in the field because he handles the field goal duties for the Golden Tigers. Montrella with 2 field goals on the season, a 29-yarder against DuBois and a 45-yarder a couple weeks ago, Doug.
Yeah, that big kick, that big 45-yarder against Erie Central.
So Montrella eyeing up the field goal attempt here from about the 13-yard line. The kick is up, looks pretty good. Splits the uprights, and Hollidaysburg has a 3-0 lead. Approximately a 33-yard field or 23-yard field goal for Montrella. And the Golden Tigers take the 3-0 lead. One of the other things, Doug, that we talked about today was the fact that it might be key here with a young team or an inexperienced team for Central to hang around early. Now, Hollidaysburg gets the opening field goal, and it's only a 3-0 lead, but it's very important for Central now to establish something with their offense, keep their defense off the field, give them a chance to get a rest, and possibly get some points on the board themselves, and if not, at least run that clock a little bit and stay in this ball game.
Run that clock, give the defense a little rest.
Tonight's game on the Blair County Sports Network brought to you by the WRTA Sportsmen. They include Warren A. Gingrich Insurance Agency on Logan Boulevard, your independent agency for your complete business and personal insurance. And Representative Rick Geis, your man in Harrisburg. For assistance, phone Rick, a supporter of local sports as a WRTA Sportsman for 19 years. That drive consisted of 9 plays for 56 yards and did end up in the Montrella 23-yard field goal. Kick taken by the up man. He runs into his own man and goes down on his back out at the 32-yard line. Chris Gephardt.
Looked like Chris never got a good grip on that ball.
It's one of those guys go up there and nothing personal, Chris, but sometimes I think when they see the kicker heading up towards the football, they're thinking, please get it over my head, back where it's supposed to go, and let me do my job and hit somebody. And when it ends up in their hands, it's like, oh no.
I got to agree with you there 100%, Phil. Take it from a big old lineman. Back when I played, when I was on the front, on the return team, I didn't want to see that ball.
Benji Berger looking to throw, and that pass is knocked down. Ron Schlecht and Matt Trainham, and that might have been Matt Trainham that got one of those paws up in the air and slapped the ball down. 2 weeks ago, we saw Stoltz get his paws up and knock a few away, and Trainham makes the defensive play right there, and that'll bring up 2nd down and 10 for Mr. Berger and his Central offense. 21 seconds to go in the opening quarter, Doug.
I was just going to say, if you try to throw those quick passes like that, you got to cut the linemen so they can't do that, so they can't block the passes. The offensive linemen have to go at the defensive linemen's feet.
2nd and 10. Berger again looking to throw. Again, Trainham with his hands up, and that ball nearly picked off by one Dave Pfeifenberger, but he couldn't hang on. The pass does go incomplete. Mingle was the intended receiver out there. Also, Matt Lehman was in the general vicinity of that pass, and that'll bring up 3rd and 10 for Central. Lehman, the leading receiver on the Central team, had 12 catches for 170 yards coming into the night. Kreider has 4 catches for 43, and Mingle also has 3 catches for 38 yards in the early going in the 95 season. Berger with a 3rd and 10, again looking to throw, looking to the far side, puts the ball up. It is there, and I believe the Golden Tiger has come down with it, and that is to play. Ben Brenneman with the interception as he went up and took the ball away for Chris Moses. Benji Berger just hung it up there, Doug. Turned that into a jump ball situation, and Ben Brenneman gets the best of it. Golden Tiger football.
You hate to use cliches, Phil, but that just looked like the Golden Tiger there wanted the ball more than Chris Moses for Central.
For a second, I thought Moses was going to come up with a catch. He had the inside position, but Brenneman made a heck of a play, and he made the reception.
Brenneman pretty much just ripped it out of his hands.
The clock runs out, and that'll do it for the first quarter. We're going to step away for a moment, but at the end of one quarter, it's the Hollidaysburg Golden Tigers 3 and the Central Scarlet Dragons nothing. You're watching high school football on the Blair County Sports Network.
Quality Juniata Kunstler meats. When you see the Juniata Kunstler logo, you can be sure that you're serving your family the very, very best. Juniata Kunstler. Honest to goodness, great taste. Reach for specially marked Milano Italian bread with a free baker's game cap inside every loaf. Only while supplies last. Milano Italian, baked fresh every day by Wholesome Butter Crust. Now available at Jubilee.
In store. If you're planning to buy any furniture, an appliance, a TV, bedding, or carpeting, then you must pay close attention to this commercial. Park Furniture is celebrating their 55th anniversary with fantastic store-wide savings. Two-piece living room suits starting at $399. Save up to $300 on the complete line of Whirlpool appliances. You'll make no payment and pay no interest for 1 full year. And they still offer free delivery. Shop Park Furniture in Juniata and Tyrone.
Picks up about 8 on the carries. We're back to live action. Hollidaysburg leading 3-0. Just underway in the second quarter. Brenneman with the interception to end the first quarter, and now Hollidaysburg with the football in Central Territory. And yeah, let's take a look at the interception replay by Ben Brenneman. Berger with the quick drop again and just lays it up high, and the receiver's there, but Brenneman just makes an outstanding play to take the football back. Again, it's Pleva this time on the near side. Pleva bowling after shaking off the face mask and rolling ahead for a first down. And I think you're going to tack some on the end of that play as the central defender got a piece of Pleva's face guard right there. And as we talked about, Doug, right after Hollidaysburg got the Montrella field goal, it was going to be critical for the Central offense to move the football, run some clock, and keep their defense off the field. And the first series, they go out and throw the interception. Now here's Hollidaysburg rolling towards the end zone with a 1st and 10 now at the Central 20-yard line.
And it looks like Hollidaysburg has the momentum now, doesn't it?
Actually, it's going to be spotted at about the 17-yard line, 1st and 10 for Hollidaysburg. And Montrella wasting no time getting the offense back up to the line of scrimmage. Joe Montrella, the senior quarterback. There's the give to Cooper. And Cooper looking for some yardage, and he's not going to find too much right there on the right side of the Central defense. About 2nd and 9 facing Hollidaysburg. Central's defense, Josh Kreider, Brian Bowers, the lone returning starter, or actually one of 2 returning starters on defense, I believe, from last year for Central, along with Josh Mingle. Larry Himes and Russell Dixon round out the front 4 for the Scarlet Dragons, and they were very worthy of the cause right there as they stopped Cooper after a 1-yard gain. 2nd and 9, Montrella over center again. This time it's Mr. Pleva's turn. He has some room to the outside if he can beat Josh Kreider, but he can't. Kreider grabs him high, but he wrestles him down after a pickup of about 4 on the play. And that'll bring up 3rd down and 5. It looked like Pleva had room, Doug, to the far side of the football field, but Kreider from his end position was able to get there quickly and make the stop.
Yeah, Kreider did a good job of containing. That's what the defensive end has to do. He has to keep the man inside of him.
WRTA sportsmen tonight include Fender Mentor Sales, a supermarket of tools and auto body supplies. Look for the sign near Vita Route. Montrella wants to throw, looking for the end zone, puts the ball up. He has Klinger, and the ball falls a little short as Montrella threw off the back foot. Didn't get enough air under that football, and it fell about a yard short of Klinger in the near corner of the end zone, incomplete. So that'll bring up 4th down and 5, and now with a 3-0 lead already, we'll see what Coach Price decides to do. And he's talking it over with his assistants right now, and he's going to kick it. He's going to send the field goal team on. And now the question will be, can they get it set down and get that kick off within the amount of time allotted for the offense to get the play off right here. 9:41 to go in the second quarter. And I think Hollidaysburg's going to have to burn a timeout. One of the other keys, Doug, I mentioned a few tonight. We'd already talked about some of the keys in the game, and one of the things I had written down here on the old flashcard is the Hollidaysburg kicking game. And of course, we know it's a pretty strong one because Montrell is a pretty quality kicker, and tonight there's the second field goal, and so 2 drives that have stalled didn't stall completely because the Golden Tigers were able to come away with 6 points with 2 field goals, and that drive just completed was 6 plays, a total of 50 yards, and took about 3 minutes and 23 seconds exactly. And a 10-yard face mask penalty also involved aiding the Tiger cause. Phil Sipes, along with me tonight's Doug Keating. Montrella to kick it away. And again, he pooches it. And the up man will take it, and he will not take it very far because as he fielded it, Chris Kephart was down on one knee. So that's where the ball will remain. 1st and 10 for Central, and now Benji Berger will bring his offense out on the field. And they really need to get something going here and give that defense a little bit of a breather. 9 minutes and 35 seconds, a running clock here in the first half. 6-0 Hollidaysburg. WRTA sportsmen tonight include Dick's Pharmacy for all your pharmaceutical and home health care needs. Call Dick's, the award-winning pharmacy. And General Family Dentistry. Come find a happy dental home with Dr. Neil Locker at General Family Dentistry. Berger, the give. It's Kit. He's looking for room on the far side. There's not too much there as the Golden Tigers, one Ben Brenneman, locks onto the ankles of Joey Kit and hauls him down.
Phil, Central just has not been able to run the ball today at all.
It's just not happening, and we talked about the big front.
That's right.
For Hollidaysburg, and Central's offensive line averages about 219 on the front, and Hollidaysburg again at 240 across that defensive front, and that doesn't bode well. You got to really hit some people hard to move those kinds of bodies.
You either have to hit some people hard or run a lot of traps, quick hitters.
Train them in on that stop for Hollidaysburg. As a Central draw play there, try and pick up the ball carrier. That was Mingle. Or is that, yeah, that was Josh Mingle on the carry right there, and Trainham fighting off the block on the near side, and then was able to reach and grab Mingle as he came across the line of scrimmage. That'll bring up 3rd down and 7. 8 minutes to go in the first half, and then Central needing to get a first down here and keep that defense off the field right now. Keep their own defense off and the Hollidaysburg defense on the field.
You got to think the Hollidaysburg defensive line is ready to tee off, that they think it's going to be a pass and they're coming hard.
Quick drop over the middle. He has his man Kreider. Berger to Kreider, but Josh Kreider is not going to be close to the first down. He's about 3 or 4 yards short, and Central's going to have to punt the football away. And Josh Kreider, who made the reception, will drop back and kick the ball away for Central. Jeremy Chork, the Golden Tiger, back to take the punt. Sophomore, Chork 5'9", 155-pound sophomore. Chork back at about his own 30-yard line. Good kick. Rocket off the foot of Kreider, taken at the 20. And Chork out across the 35, back to about the 36-yard line. And now the Hollidaysburg Golden Tiger offense will ramble back onto the field and look to add to this 6-0 lead. 7 minutes to go in the opening half. WRTA Sportsman tonight, Greenwood Pools and Spas, Route 220 in Greenwood. See their lovely showroom of spas and gazebos in all price ranges, styles, and colors. Tel Power Rentals for tool and equipment rental. It's Tel Power at Walton Avenue and Lloyd Street. And Time Warner Cable, Blair County. Our winning lineup includes HBO, the Movie Channel, Cinemax, Showtime, and the Disney Channel. Montrella, the quick give. It's Cooper. He's out in the open field in the secondary, and he picks up a first down out at midfield. Nose of the football just touching the 50-yard line. So that's a 1st and 10 for Hollidaysburg. Cooper has 52 yards here in the opening half on 10 carries. And again, it's Cooper, and this time he's stacked up right at the line of scrimmage. As we mentioned, Cooper had 41 yards on 14 carries coming into today's game, and he already has 11 carries now for a total of 52 yards here tonight. Pleva is the leading rusher on this Hollidaysburg team this season. 35 carries, 154 yards coming into tonight, a 4.4 yard average. Of course, we talked about Cooper's injuries this year, and this is really his first full game back in 3 weeks. This time it is Pleva. He's battling off tackles and fought off 2 tackles in the backfield and was able to get back to the line of scrimmage. Pleva using that big build. He's 5'10", but 185 pounds. He looks a lot bigger than that even, Doug, and senior is able to get the ball back to the line of scrimmage, and it'll be 3rd and 10 for Hollidaysburg. Clock running here in the first half, 6-0 Hollidaysburg lead. Closing in on the 5-minute mark. Barnes split to the near side, Klinger to the far side. Straight drop by Montrella, looking downfield. He has his man. Klinger makes the reception. The defender's down. He's able to gather himself for the first down and then rolls out of bounds near the central 30-yard line. So Montrella to Klinger, that's been the big combination this year for the Golden Tigers, as Klinger is the leading receiver in terms of catches coming into the night with 10, and I know he's got at least 2 or 3 here this evening already. We're going to get another look at the play, Doug. Again, there's the straight drop by Montrella, and there's been a lot of the quick stuff tonight.
Did you see those nice moves by Klinger? Nice catch and a nice run.
Matt Lehman was able to hold up Klinger long enough to get some help over there and run him out of bounds. 1st and 10, Golden Tigers. Klinger in motion. Montrella with the quick give. This time it's Cooper. He's into the secondary, and he'll pick up 6 or 7 on the carry. Again, all these yardage calls are virtual estimates until we get a final mark of the football. It is just really difficult to see up here. So if you're at home watching it and saying, what the heck is this guy looking at, bear with us. I believe there is a flag on the play, and that one is going to go against the Scarlet Dragons. And that will move the football down near the central 10-yard line. And we're going to get a look at that play. There's the quick give, and it's Cooper with the carry.
Just a quick trap inside.
Look at the
and
offensive.
Big hole.
The line just moving people out of the way. There must have been a 5-yard cushion there for Cooper before he actually had to run into a red jersey. 1st and 10 from the 10-yard line for Hollidaysburg. Klinger again in motion. Montrella with the give to Cooper. He breaks off 2 tackles heading towards the end zone and is finally stopped by a host of Scarlet Dragons as he nears the 5-yard line. 4:24 to go in the second quarter. 6-0 Hollidaysburg, and they're looking to get more points. And
this has been a good drive for Hollidaysburg. Good, long, sustained drive.
Time of possession tonight is just way...
It's been all Hollidaysburg on time of possession.
Way in favor of the Golden Tigers. Goshorn will shuttle the play in. Mark Barnes will come out, take a breather. Second quarter turned out to be a pretty nice evening here tonight. A little earlier this afternoon. There are a lot of people, I'm sure, concerned about whether they even come out and watch this one tonight. We've got a great crowd and pretty decent weather. There's Cooper, high-stepping it towards the end zone. No signal yet if he got there or not. Doesn't look like he did. If he's not, he's pretty close.
They're just blowing some big holes for Cooper there on the left side of the line. The offensive line is doing an excellent job.
If we can get another look at that play, because Cooper doing some fine running down in close there as he was high-stepping, which is what they ask you to do down there, and keep your legs out of the reach of those defenders that are already down. We will get another look at it as we also get a measurement. Again, Montrella giving it to Cooper, and Cooper getting those legs up in the air, driving forward. And that's a first down. I'll tell you what, when it was 1st and 10 at the 10-yard line, if you just said, well, Hollidaysburg has a shot to get a first down, you just said, well, there's no way they're going to get it without putting it in the end zone. But they got the nose of the football between the 6-inch line and the goal line, and they have a 1st and goal. So a new set of downs for the Golden Tigers. 3:28 to go in the first half, and it's 6-0 Hollidaysburg already, and they're looking to put 7 on the board right here. Barnes split wide to the right. Klinger wide to the left, but this one's going right up the gut. And now we have more flags as Montrella bowls his way into the end zone, but
it looks like we had a motion penalty.
And as you look at your screen right there, the official makes the motion call, and they're going to back it up 5 yards. Tonight's game on the Blair County Sports Network brought to you by the WRTA Sportsmen, and the sportsmen include Haas's Steak and Sea House in Altoona and Duncansville. Come in and check out our hospitality. The Small Engine Shop on the new Juniata Gap Road, your authorized Troy-Bilt sales and service dealer. And your building center of Altoona, we care because we own it. 3:07 to go in the first half. Montrella will give the call to his offensive unit. First down and goal back at the 5-yard line after the penalty's marked off. Montrella with the fake. Now he gives it to Pleva. Pleva looking for some room inside. And he does find some breathing room, and he's off guard there, and he'll pick up a couple on the carry. 2nd down and goal. And Central now will utilize a timeout and talk things over here. So this is a big stand, Doug, for Central. If they could really come up big here and hold Hollidaysburg off the scoreboard, be very significant play for their defense.
This close to half, if they could hold Hollidaysburg here to another field goal.
The winning number is 5-2.
Okay, we're going to get another look at the penalty that moved the Golden Tigers back. Montrella with the keeper, and I believe there was somebody there on the right side of the line that just got off a little bit quick. It's real close to see as we back it up. But nonetheless, it was 5 yards going in the opposite direction of Hollidaysburg, and that made it 1st and goal from the 5. And now they're faced with a 2nd and goal from the 4 after Pleva picked up 1 yard. Rushing the ball, Pleva has a touchdown to his credit this season. Ben Piper and Joe Montrella, the other rushing touchdowns. The Golden Tigers have only rushed the ball in the end zone 3 times this season. And Montrella has also thrown 2 touchdown passes on the year. Looking at the Hollidaysburg offense coming into tonight's game, pretty balanced. 121 on the ground, 123 a game in the air. So they're doing it both ways. Here's Montrella up over his center, 2nd and 4. Montrella, he's going to keep it. He's looking to throw. Pressure from Central. Joe couldn't get it off. And the sack on the play. Russell Dixon, the defensive end for the Scarlet Dragons, with the pressure. And he was able to get those big arms up in the air and keep Montrella from unloading the football. And a big loss, a loss of about 10 on the play, and that'll bring up 3rd and 14. And there's the play we were talking about. They needed to come up big, and they did right there. Now they have to hold tight. 3rd down and 14.
It looked like they gambled there. It looked like they were blitzing some people, and that freed up the defensive end there, Russell Dixon, and he was able to get the sack. Big play at a big time.
6'4", 195-pound junior Russell Dixon. Klinger in motion. Montrella. He's going to throw the football again. He wants Klinger. Again, there's pressure from Central. And again, Montrella looking to throw. He has his man. Pfeifenberger. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Hollidaysburg. What an athletic play right there from Mr. Joe Montrella. And I'm going to call Mr. on that play, Doug. That was fantastic.
Called Mr.
I had him sacked. I had him sacked and down about 3 times. And the defensive player there for Central had his ankle.
A big old defensive lineman had his ankle, but he couldn't pull him down. That was a great play.
Montrella kept his head up, was able to find Dave Pfeifenberger for the completion. Pfeifenberger then was able to get the ball into the end zone. So it's 12-0 Golden Tigers, and now Hollidaysburg is going to go for 2 and try and run that score to 14-0 with 1:37 to go in the first half. Montrella, he's going to pass again. Again a rush. And again he gets it off and finds his man. And again it's Dave Pfeifenberger. Montrella looked to be sacked. Was able to shake off the sack and find a receiver wide open. for the touchdown. Let's get a look, or for the extra, the 2-point conversion. Now let's take a look at that touchdown play, which was just simply incredible from Montrella. Right there's the pressure from the tackle.
Look at that tackle all over his ankle here. Can't pull him down, but he's still able to get the pass off, and then Pfeifenberger with a great run into the end zone. Excellent play by both Montrella and Pfeifenberger.
Montrella's 3rd touchdown pass of the season. That's Pfeifenberger's 2nd touchdown reception of the season. And that was, I believe, a 14-yard reception for a touchdown. It was. 2-point conversion was also good. That drive totaled 9 plays and 62 yards and took 6 minutes and 17 seconds off of the clock. So with 1 minute and 37 to go in the first half, Hollidaysburg now has the 14-0 lead. And I don't want to harp on it, but we keep saying Central needed to get their defense off the field, keep the football. They've been unable to do that. And Hollidaysburg has really done the job at putting it to Central on the line of scrimmage and sustaining long drives for scores. 2 field goals and a touch. Montrella now to kick it off. And again, he bounces it over the middle. This time it will reach his backs at about the 18-yard line. And that will be Ryan Blakely, the senior, returning the ball out. Pretty nice return after they had a little bit of trouble handling the kickoff there, but they're out over the 30-yard line to about the 33, I guess.
Phil, you got to think a big play like that by Montrella really takes a lot out of Central. They thought they had him stopped. It was 3rd and long. They thought they had him stopped for at least a field goal, for at most a field goal, but Montrella is able to make a great play, and it's a touchdown. That's got to take a lot out of Central.
Central with, the snap is over the head of Berger and into the end zone, or near the end zone. Berger falls on it at about his own 1-yard line. Central had 4 receivers in that offensive set with 1 minute and 37 to go. Of course, the next words out of my mouth were going to be, Doug, what do you think here? Would you have sat on it, or do you try and get something at the end of the half and risk a turnover? And what happens? The snap goes up over the quarterback's head. It wasn't even close. And luckily, Berger was able to fall on it at the 1-yard line, and that's the only thing that saved Hollidaysburg from putting more points on the board here at the end of the half. And now we have an injury, and we'll try and get a spot on that to see who is down. I don't know if that's Berger down or not. It is the quarterback, Berger, so he went down hard to retrieve that football, and then I believe there might have been a Golden Tiger that was down on top of him also trying to beat him to the ball, and now Berger is down on the field. May have got the wind knocked out of him on that play.
Phil, you really ask a lot out of a center in the shotgun offense, which is what Central was in. He knows he's got to make a block after he snaps the ball. It's not like he just has to snap it under his legs. He's got to snap it 4 yards. It's tough on a center in there. You saw what can happen. You can snap it over the quarterback's head.
So now, if you take a look over at the scoreboard, and what do you see? If you're Jack Kreider, you see you're down 14-0. You see there's only 55 seconds to go in a half, and you see you have 2nd and 42 up on the board. So, and your quarterback is down on his back, and he's got to come out of the game. I think it might be time now to do the old proverbial drop back and punt. See what happens.
2nd down and forever. 2nd and 42. Wow.
So Central hung in tough the first quarter. They really battled, and actually they battled throughout the first half.
Throughout the whole half.
The defense has been out on the field the entire half, and it's only 14-0. It could be worse because they held them to 2 field goals and were very close to holding them the 3rd time, if not for the just superhero efforts of Montrella. Central's total yards in the first half tonight is -1 yard. So that tells the whole story right there.
Yeah.
And coming into this game, it's not like the Central offense was completely unable to move the football, because they were pushing the ball on the ground 125 yards a game and throwing it for around 100. But they're just not getting it done tonight. And again, we alluded to that size difference up front for Hollidaysburg, and it's a major factor right now, as we saw in the one replay a little while ago with Cooper running. That line was blowing people off the line of scrimmage to the tune of about 3 or 4 yards before they could even get their head up to see where the ball carrier might be. And that just can't happen for Central if they're going to be successful tonight. And right now, Coach Kreider's got to be thinking, Doug, let's get the heck in the locker room and regroup.
Exactly. Let's burn these last 55 seconds and just go into the locker room. Phil, you made a good point. Central just wasn't able to sustain any drives, and they just couldn't give their defense any rest. And their defense just gives up so many pounds to the offensive line of Hollidaysburg.
Christian Breitenbaugh into the game at quarterback position, and he's just going to try and mercifully let this clock run out. And Hollidaysburg's going to say, no way. They're going to use their timeouts and make Central have to punt that ball out of their end zone, which is the wise thing to do. Breitenbaugh has seen action this year at the quarterback position. I believe he played in the first game of the season down in Huntington. So he comes in right now to spell the injured Benji Berger, and hopefully at halftime we'll be able to get a little bit of a read on what's going on with Berger, and hopefully for Central's cause be able to get back in. And Paul Engelman, who handles the stats for us here, just told us with that huge gain by Central, they've evened themselves at 0 total yards for the night. So Hollidaysburg, who has been up and down this year, you know, they held Du Bois in the opening week to only 3 points, and then went into overtime, had a chance to win it, and Montrella missed a field goal, and that's a rarity because we've seen him nail 4 in the early part of the season right now and look real good at doing it. And let that one slip away. Du Bois got the 16-10 win. And then Hollidaysburg came back week 2 in a game we had right here on the Blair County Sports Network and really demolished Erie Central. Did a wonderful job offensively. And then went up to McDowell and got hammered pretty good up there physically and just couldn't do anything. And now we're back to the other end of the spectrum here tonight.
Yep, looks like they're on this week.
Throwing a shutout in the first part of the game. Breitenbaugh going out on the far side looking for his receiver.
It looked like
Chris Moses. But the ball was thrown a little long, and now Central's going to have to punt it from deep, and I mean deep, in their end zones. The ball's resting on the 1-yard line. 4th down and a mere 41 yards to go for the first. 42 seconds to go, and I'll tell you what, Doug, even if Central is able to get this kickoff, Hollidaysburg's going to have great field position, and with 42 seconds, and Joe Montrell at quarterback, and Klinger and Goshorn and all those guys out in Barnes and the wideouts.
I know what you're trying to get to. They can get another one.
Can put it right back in there. The kick is away from Kreider. Takes a good Central bounce and heads towards midfield. That's a great Central bounce. Now Hollidaysburg's Chorski's going to try and pick it up. He does pick it up, and now he loses more yardage, as I think he'd have been better off just to let that ball roll dead, but he chose to try and field it. Jeremy Chork, the sophomore, and that might tell the story right there. And Coach Price, I'm sure, will talk to the sophomore and tell him, Jeremy, next time let that thing roll dead.
Just let that bounce and roll dead.
You don't want to risk what could have been a turnover right there for Hollidaysburg. So 27 seconds to go. The clock is running. Montrella coming up over his center. Goshorn wide to the near side. Klinger to the far left. Montrella is just going to give the ball to Cooper. And Cooper is hauled down immediately after picking up about 2. And Hollidaysburg and Coach Price are going to let this thing run out and take that 14-0 lead into the locker room at halftime. So what we'll do here is step away for a moment and then come back and wrap up the first half briefly. You're watching high school football on the Blair County Sports Network. The score at the end of the first half, the Golden Tigers of Hollidaysburg 14, the Scarlet Dragons nothing.
Again, the game ball number. You have it ready for the press box. 5-2.
If you were asked to define quality television, how would you answer?
Shows that pique my interest and enrich my life.
Programming that provides important information on issues that concern our society. Entertaining productions for the whole family that make television worth watching.
Impactful, powerful programs that inspire learning.
Or you could just say cable.
You are welcome to visit the Altoona Area Vocational Technical School training areas where instructors and students are waiting to spark your interest. If your destination is a rewarding and successful career, begin your journey by following one of these avenues. Talk to your school counselor and teachers, share your career interest with the appropriate instructor at the Altoona AVTS, or visit our Adult and Continuing Education office for post-secondary opportunities as we educate tomorrow's workforce today.
When it's your work, when it's your home, it's your building center. Our employee owners are always there to lend a helping hand because we really care. From friendly advice to free delivery, we'll make sure you get the supplies you need when you need them, right where you need them. For homeowners, contractors, and do-it-yourselfers, whether you're a novice or a pro, when it's your building project, come to your building center.
We care because we own it. Your building centers.
Joiner Sports Medicine is proud to provide rehabilitative and athletic training services to local high school and college athletes.
This summer we were playing them in a basketball game at Mansion Park, and I sprained my ankle. I thought I'd be down for at least a week, and that's a great facility there. That was a Monday, and that Thursday I was playing another game.
We feel very fortunate to be affiliated with Craig Boswell and Ron Baum.
Joiner Sports Medicine, world-class care from those who care for the world's best athletes.
Taking a look at the score there on your screen, it's the Hollidaysburg Golden Tigers 14, Central nothing. And Doug, the Golden Tigers are throwing a shutout in a couple different ways here tonight. Number one, they've held Central off the scoreboard, and the reason they've done that is they don't have any yardage on offense. There's 0 total yards for the first half.
That's pretty impressive. They've really dominated the first half. I mean, Central stayed in the game. I mean, they'd given up 2 field goals. Hollidaysburg had moved the ball down, had a long drive, and it looked like they were going to be relegated to another field goal, but Joe Montrella makes a great play. He's able to throw the touchdown pass, and that really hurt Central.
Montrella with 2 just incredibly athletic plays, for lack of a better word, at the end of the drive there near the end of the first half. And Central looked like they were going to come up big, and they weren't able to. Hollidaysburg did, stuck it in the end zone for that touchdown, and now the 14-0 lead. And look at some of the students here tonight taking in tonight's football game. We're going to take another break here shortly, and then we are going to come back with second half action. Again, you're watching week number 4 of the high school football season, and your score here from Memorial Field in Roaring Spring, it's the Hollidaysburg Golden Tigers 14 and the Central Scarlet Dragons nothing.
In a recent survey, an overwhelming majority of number 1 Boulevard Heating and Cooling customers expressed complete satisfaction and would recommend them to a friend. For over 35 years, the Boulevard family has made sure that each and every customer is treated like a member of the family, and the 3rd generation is continuing the tradition. Number 1 Boulevard, the Carrier Inside Guys with America's number 1 name in the heating business, Carrier. Call the Carrier Inside Guys and stay warm this winter. Number 1 Boulevard Heating and Cooling, a tradition of excellence.
Extreme mountain biking, 45 miles an hour.
Did it.
65 miles an hour.
Done it.
Blindfolded.
Been there.
Then a 4,000-foot vertical drop.
Tried that.
All while slamming a Dew. Nothing's more intense than slamming Mountain Dew. Oh yeah, no shoot. Just kidding.
Decent.
The perfect start to your day is a great-tasting Kellogg's Pop-Tart. You'll find all varieties at a special price. Get the 6-count box of regular Pop-Tarts and now low-fat Pop-Tarts for just $1.29. The only salsa with a great taste of pace. In extra mild, medium, and hot. Pick up the thick and chunky one. Pick up the pace. Only $1.89 for the 16-ounce jar at Jubilee.
That's what we've got in store.
And we are just about ready to get set with second half action tonight. Phil Sipes along with Doug Keating and Paul Engelman and Rob Bergonia helping us out up in the booth tonight. Hollidaysburg, Doug, with the 14-0 lead, and really doing a number right now on Central here this evening as they've held the Scarlet Dragons to 0 yards offense in the first half, netting out, and they've been able to move the football and run clock.
Central had minus 22 yards rushing, Phil. I think that tells it all right there, doesn't it? Central's really going to have to come out in the second half, and they're going to have to try to move the ball.
Hollidaysburg offensively passing the ball. Montreal is 4 of 6 for 57 yards. 1 touchdown. That's to Dave Pfeifenberger. He has not thrown an interception this evening. They've ran the ball 23 times for 80 yards. Hollidaysburg has 6 first downs. And they've run a total of 29 plays for 137 yards. And they punted the ball once for 25 yards. And they have 2 penalties for a total of 10 yards. On the Central side, as you get a look right there, they have only 1 first down in the first half, and then they lost a ton of yardage. They have minus 22 on the ground, as you mentioned, Doug. They have 22 in the air. Of course, that evens things out at 0 yardage, like we talked about, and they've had 5 penalties for 35 yards, which hasn't helped the cause either, and they've turned the ball over once. And we talked about turnovers coming into tonight.
And that hasn't been the problem.
That hasn't been a problem, and Hollidaysburg has that +5, and Central had a -2 coming in, and Central goes to a -3 now, and of course Hollidaysburg a +6, and that definitely doesn't hurt. But it'll be funny how it ends up at the end of the year, because Hollidaysburg, if they go on to throw together like an 8-3 or a 9-2 kind of season, and they end up with a +15 rating, everybody will look back at that and they'll say, wow, they got the football and they held on to it, and they were able to create turnovers and make things happen, and that's what good teams do. And then Central, on the other hand, they don't get things righted, and they end up with a big minus in that ratio column, turnover ratio column. A lot of people will point to that. So we'll have to see again how it does play out. We're just about ready to get underway. The Scarlet Dragons, as you see in the screen there, Coach Jack Kreider, are loosening up and getting ready to go, and the Golden Tigers on the far side are getting ready to come out and run through the tape there held by the cheerleaders. They have that 14-0 lead after 1 half. The scoring went like this. Joe Montrella kicked a field goal with 48 seconds to go in the first quarter, giving Hollidaysburg the 3-0 lead. That was a 23-yarder. Then with 9:37 to go in quarter number 2, Montrella added a 29-yard field goal, and that made things 6-0. And then with 1:37 to go in quarter number 2, Montrella made a couple fabulous plays to make completions. One to Pfeifenberger for the touchdown, another one to Pfeifenberger for a 2-point conversion, and that gave Hollidaysburg the 14-0 lead that they hold right now. And so Central goes into the locker room. They're going to try and regroup. Hollidaysburg goes in. They talk about the good things that they're doing, and they just want to sustain that activity here throughout the second half, and we'll see which team either made the proper adjustments at halftime. 14-0 Golden Tigers. Tonight's game on the Blair County Sports Network brought to you by the WRTA Sportsmen. They include Brothers Pizza. Call Brothers Pizza near you for fresh hot pizza delivered fast to your door. Representative Jerry Stern, representing you and your family and the values we hold so dear. And Columbia Savings, a division of the C&G Savings Bank in town Altoona, in the Pleasant Valley Shopping Center, and in Hollidaysburg. A look at some of the individual stats for Hollidaysburg. Rushing the ball tonight, it's been Lucas Cooper. He has 14 carries for a total of 64 yards. And Pleva has carried the ball. Matt Pleva has carried the ball 8 times for 26 yards, and they've gotten all the work out of the backfield for Hollidaysburg this evening. Montrell again has completed 4 passes out of 6 attempts for 57 yards and a touchdown. And Central, there just isn't too much to talk about individually on offense for the Scarlet Dragons. But they're going to try and get that situation straightened out and get themselves back in this ball game. Hollidaysburg, or Central it is, deferred the opening kickoff to Hollidaysburg, so they're going to get the ball back. And so if anything's worked in their favor tonight, maybe that's the first break for the